Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay and it's good to see you again. I'm an aspiring author and I'm working on what will hopefully be my debut novel, Project Legendary. So, while working on the project, a very important thing is characters, especially in a project like mine that has so many.
Editing Shay here. So, a quick little tidbits before we get into the playlist and all of my awesome tips of how I make my character playlists. I do say the word Hercules a lot, and I didn't realize I was saying Hercules until the very end. The character's name is Heracles because my story is based in the Greek mythology. So every time you hear Hercules, except for when I do specifically reference Disney, so without further ado, sit back, relax, get a coffee, and let's talk about my steps of making character playlists. And don't forget, stay tuned to the very end, and I'm going to show you a sneak peek of my personal character playlist for my project.
Now there are a handful of main characters, but there are a bunch of different side characters, and they're all important-ish in their own ways. And so character development and creation for a story like this is very important because there are multiple stories being told at the same time. And it is really important to me that my readers have a good understanding of these characters. So for me, that character process looks like making playlists for my characters. The more I understand my characters, the better I can write my characters, and their interactions and their dialogue comes so much easier when I have this better grasp on who they are as a person. So I assume you also like making playlists. That's why you clicked on the video. So let's get started with the 4 main ways that I make my character playlists and do my character development. Number 1, step 1, pick out 3 things that are on the surface the main points of your character, the main points of their personality, the main points of who they are on a surface level. Alright, on a surface level, who is your character? For me, I did, for example, Hercules. Now, most people, when they think of Hercules, they think, ooh, big, strong, tough guy. And yes, strength is a part of his thing, but when I do my character playlist, I like my playlist to start with who they are at the beginning of my book. Who is my reader meeting? Not who they become later down the line. That's for later in the playlist. But who are they at first? And at first, Hercules is not the big, confident, strong, tough guy that we know. He's actually very insecure about his strength. Kind of playing off of the best example I can give of Hercules, Disney's Hercules at the beginning. He's not the same Hercules that you meet at the end. Alright? So I picked 2 or 3 things based off of him at the beginning of the story, and that's what I started to look for in my playlist. For Pandora, it's the curiosity aspect, the excitement aspect that she has, the innocence aspect of it. I really wanted to try and find things of that lined up with that. And as you can see, I'm finally telling you who's going to be in this book, because I haven't actually told you the characters yet. Mind you, these are not their final names. I'm not calling them by their godly names in the actual book, but for the sake of the preparation of the book and me telling you guys more and more about the story, I'm going to use their godly names until I feel comfortable telling their real names / when I give them real names. Anyway, step 2. Start searching from what you already know. For me, that's a lot easier because, like I said in other videos, I've been RPing for a long time, which means I have lots of playlists of various different characters that I can pull from and be like, I wrote about an insecure chick like a year ago. What was that character's name? Go find her playlist. And then I can look through that playlist and pick out the songs that I feel will fit this character as well. I don't take the whole playlist because I don't think I've ever made a character that is exactly copy and paste the same as another character that I've written. So I can never use the entire playlist, but I can use maybe 1 to 2 things. If you are starting from scratch, start with the songs that you know. Start with artists that you like. If you're a big Taylor Swift fan, Taylor Swift has a large variety of songs. I know a lot of people try to be like, oh, all she writes is love songs or breakup songs. But there's actually a nice little stuff in there that she has made that is perfect for different dimensions of characters who are going through different stages of life. Because you've grown up with Taylor Swift, so she does have quite a few songs that are of different stages in her life. And you can pick from one of those stages. Same with someone like a Beyonce or maybe even a Kendrick. Someone who you know, who you like, who has a very large discography, alright, that you're pretty familiar with. That's honestly where a lot of my main POV theme has actually come from. A lot of her stuff was me picking off of, mostly for her sarcastic tone, the songs from other playlists. Step number 3, give yourself permission to fall down that rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole, Alice. It will be worth it. 1, because you get to discover new music, which I think is a plus. I cannot tell you how many new songs I have discovered and new artists I have discovered because of just allowing the YouTube or Spotify playlist to finish playing out and then start automatically auto-playing the things that it thinks are related to the things I just listened to. Now, it works best if you do this out of a playlist. Like if you were already in a playlist and then all those songs played in a row, so it has a vibe already for what to give you next instead of just like randomness. Because I know sometimes with YouTube specifically, if you're just clicking on a bunch of different things at a time, it will auto-generate a mix list for you, but it'll generate the things you just watched and then sneak in some other random things because it doesn't know what you're looking for. But for example, if you listen to 10 country songs in a row, YouTube is going to then give you another country song in that same vein. So feel free to fall down that rabbit hole, okay? It's excellent discovery of new artists, new music, and you'll be surprised with the songs that it comes up for you for your characters. Also, when it comes to falling down the rabbit hole, don't be afraid to take a song as a nugget and save it for a different character. So I might be sitting down being like, man, I really need to focus on finding Hercules' song right now. But then a song plays and I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect for Pandora. Go ahead, take the pause break and go wherever you're writing down or doing your playlist and put the song in for Pandora. Alright? It's okay if you find stuff for other people. I've been mostly looking for songs to build a playlist of my main cast, but I have some side characters that have like 10 songs on their playlist because I'm like, wow, that fits so perfectly. Let me just go ahead. And what's great about that is a lot of my side characters in this first book, because the way I'm planning on writing this, it would be multiple books. And those characters will play an even bigger role in later books. And so now I've already set the foundation for my understanding of those characters before I even get to where they're going to be a huge, huge role. Alright, so set yourself up for success. Pick not only for the character you're currently looking for, but other characters as well if it inspires you. Because that even might make that character have a bigger role. You never know. Step 4, finally, rinse and repeat, but dig deeper. So once you've done steps 2 and 3 for those surface level songs, who is the character in general? Now, as you build onto your playlist, now do those steps again, but for the deeper things. That's when you start looking for, hey, what's a good song to tell me this character's history, their backstory? Why are they like this? Okay? Why is this person obsessed the way that they are? Why are they so naive the way that they are? What are songs that can play into that? Or if you already know there's going to be a romance involved with that character, okay, from this character's perspective, how does that romance look to them? Because that's also really fun to do when there's two characters that have romance, but the way they do that romance is differently. So then you put certain songs in this person's versus this person's, they don't, because they're not mutual. I think those are really cool. But that's when you start going into the romance, into the friendships, into the all that other kind of stuff. And then that's how you fill in the playlist afterwards. And then I like to end it with another who are they in general type song or two. But now, giving the example of Hercules, now I will put the song that showcases the Hercules most people think about. You know, the strong, the confident, the man who he'll become at the end of the book, hopefully. Alright, that's when I'll put that version of him song at the end. Honestly, those are my main 4 steps. Very easy, very quick. I think that it takes time to build a playlist. If I would give a bonus 5th tip, it would be it's okay to let songs find you. It's okay to have this take time. Most of the time, unless I have a character that is super similar to something else that I've done in the past, I can't just sit down and make an entire playlist in a day. It takes me time to think about it, to find the songs, to let songs find me. I am now into draft 2. I started this concept in this writing this back in February, and it's now July, and I'm still adding songs to these playlists. Alright, I'm still finding songs as they come on the radio or as, you know, my algorithm pops them up to me. I should say this, another bonus tip. I probably should have named this 6, now that I'm thinking about it. Another tip, it's okay to ask other people. Okay? So, if you got a music guru friend, I'm sure they would be ecstatic to help you find songs that fit your character aesthetic. My husband saw me typing away trying to make this playlist thing for one of my characters, and he was like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "I'm trying to find songs that fit this thing." And he was like, "I got you, babe," and started looking things up right away. And I found a few songs that way that fit certain characters. And he was super excited to do it. Your music friends probably would be super excited to help you out with that. And, you know, as a last resort, if you don't got any music friends, ask Google. Hey, Google, you know any songs that are blah, 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 blah? Now, I will preface the Google one that Google is not super reliable when asking for songs. I have tried it. I don't understand why sometimes Google will tell you the truth and sometimes Google will lie to you. Sometimes Google will give you songs that don't exist to a certain artist. It'll be like, here's the song title and here's the artist, and then you go to YouTube to try and listen to the song and YouTube's like, that does not exist. That song belongs to this person over here, but this person does make music, so which do you want? So it's very confusing. So I will say, always make sure you are actually trying to go use it as a list, as a tool for a list to point you where to go and try and actually go to YouTube or go to Apple or go to Spotify. Find and listen to the songs to make sure they are a good fit. But it can, in a pinch, give you a starting point. Also, I have no length requirements for my playlists. They can be anywhere from 5 to 20 songs long. It kind of just depends on how many songs I find in that thing. I don't like to go less than 5 because I like to have a surface level beginning, surface level at the end, growth / deeper backstory stuff in the middle. So I need at least 5 for me to feel comfortable. But anything past 5 is just the name of the song game. And I do that because songs can help evolve my characters. So I knew what I wanted for Theme, but her backstory was really difficult to find a song for because I didn't really have a concrete idea what I wanted her backstory to be. And then I listened to a song that was perfect as a why for why she is the way that she is, and that talked about how her being the way that she is. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect thing to help flesh out her backstory. So the song actually helps flesh out her backstory. And then in other cases, like Cleo, also really hard time with, because she's more of just a narrator versus she's an overwatch. She is watching over versus being in the storylines. So without further ado, I cannot play the songs for you because clearly YouTube would strike me down for copyright. But what I will do is I will show you a little screenshot on the screen of the main, like I said, theme song, introduction to the character, song I found for each of my mains, and I will also put up their snippet of their Pinterest board. And if you saw my other video that showcased rapid fire the Pinterest boards, you'll kind of see who is matched with who for some of them. I'm not revealing all of them, but I am going to reveal at least the main characters, which in POVs, which is going to be Theme, Cleo, Heracles, and Pandora. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Have a nice day. If you haven't already, comment, like, subscribe. Was this helpful? Do you do any of these steps already? Are there any additional steps that you do that I didn't mention? I would love to hear what you guys do for character creation down in the comment section. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the Pinterest and playlist suggestions.